This is Mo Kelman, and I'm currently showing this piece, Cloud and the Space Between, at the Silvermine Gallery in the Fiber 2020 show. I'd like to show you some examples of my work from over the years and some of my sources of inspiration. This is my grandmother, and she was from the old country, and every dish towel, pillowcase, towel sheet in her house was trimmed with her crochet. We were very close, and by the age of 5, she had taught me to crochet and embroider. My dad was a builder, and we were real good buddies, and to spend time with him on weekends, I'd follow him to building sites and walk around these framed houses. The beauty of these skeletal structures really got stuck in my head. In 1987, I took a sabbatical from teaching and went to Japan, and that trip was enormously influential for me. Just one site, this tree that has been pruned and tethered and crutched so that it will take on a particular shape for generations, 2 generations from now. Shortly after that trip, I became aware of these gut parkas made by native Alaskans, made from walrus intestine and whale intestine, and I decided that that material really had some promise for me. I used sausage casings, hog intestines, and I built a series which I titled Viscera Series. This is the late 1980s, inspired by organic forms. Fry Otto, a German architect and engineer, is my hero, and he is the inventor of tensile structures, where a pliable membrane is supported and shaped by cables that apply tension. That method of building has inspired all of my work up to this day. This is a piece titled Penumbra, and Penumbra is the transitional areas between the dark side of the moon and the illuminated side of the moon. In this piece, I realized I could create a stretchy, elastic membrane by using a traditional Japanese dyeing and shaping technique called mokume shibori. I would start with transparent white silk organza, and it would be transformed into a patterned elastic membrane, which, as in this piece, I could then tether, stretch to rigid structures that I build with bamboo or wood and sometimes wire. This is another piece also inspired by an aspect of the moon titled Dark Side. And in this piece, I am interested in having it appear very closed and dense from this point of view, and from this point of view, opening up. It's very important to me that as you walk around my work, it changes from one point of view to another, and I'm also interested in the transparency and being able to see through to the structure behind. I'm obsessed and inspired by structures wherever I find them: life forms, nature, architecture, industrial environments, and here I've combined the form of 2 eyes, which is the title of the piece, with a architectural form. This is titled Self-Same, a detail on the right, and in this piece I'm interested in showing a sort of duality, a structural, skeletal sense of a being on the left and a more fleshed out sense on the right. My current work is inspired by clouds, weather, smoke, flowing water, ephemeral phenomena, vaporous phenomena. This is a fluctus cloud, which takes its form of breaking waves where the wind is traveling faster on top than below. And that inspired this piece, titled Two Clouds, a Tower. I'm hoping that you see two clouds, the dark one formed by the fabric on the left, and in the negative space to the right, the light cloud. The so-called tower, I hope, conjures up notions of industrial architecture and has also the functional purpose. The fabric form is tethered to it in tension so that it is pulled away from the wall and leaves its shadow behind it. Here again, the piece in the Silver Mine Gallery, Cloud and the Space Between. I like to think about all the complex forces that determine the shapes of clouds and smoke and other vaporous forms. I enjoy the irony of anchoring these dynamic forms in place, and I hope I might possibly encourage viewers to reflect on what is fleeting and perhaps endangered in these times. This last piece and this detail of it is titled Smoke Ring. And again, I think you can see a shadow behind it, which the effects of light and shadow are also something I really strive to endow. Thanks for listening.